I think there should be a podcast exclusively about Elon Musk. Just daily updates about Musk. It would be successful. People would listen to it. It wouldn't even have to be that good.
Musky business.
Yeah, Musky. But the guy tweets and, companies fail. So it's interesting.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh,
I did it.
take it away.
All right. Welcome to Idea Drop. Ideas are a dime a dozen. Say less and ship more. Focus is underrated and execution is king. That being said, a well-timed idea executed in perfect synchrony is often the difference between mediocrity and Elon Musk. This is the conversation show that expands and contracts between broad market concepts and niche tribal expertise. Welcome to Idea Drop.
We've never talked about tribal expertise.
I think we touch it all the time.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh.
You want to talk about day trading silver?
No, I'm really anti-day trading. I'm super anti that.
And so you don't even want to talk about that?
No,
you don't want to talk about the things you're anti?
That's how the Rothschilds.
I mean, they did a lot more than that.
They were day trading. They were the first ones that could communicate so fast since they were all in different cities, and they would ship money all across Europe based off of how much money they could make when they sent it, right?
Yeah, I mean, they owned some infrastructure for that. There was also a guy who had an arbitrage where he bought up the land to lay fiber between Wall Street and like a banking center like in the Northeast. And he charged all the banks to use his faster internet for their trading,
great.
But he charged them like crazy amounts of money.
Dude, this is like if you're going to the gold rush, don't go for the gold. Be the store that sells shovels.
Yeah, or the own the land.
Or just own the land. Just take a percentage of it.
I mean, mineral rights and air rights. Now that it's a drone economy,
that's kind of true.
I mean,
no, most of the best businesses are the businesses that are right next to the businesses people think that you should start. Right?
True.
So
Yeah.
Don't start a coffee shop. Start a coffee grinder company. Don't start a dev company. Start a no-code tool. Don't start. Give me an example. What do you think?
On the coffee shop, I would rather be the guy who makes the bags, those Sealy bags.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, because
right?
you have no competition. Nobody. It's not as sexy as coffee.
Yeah.
But it's gonna make you a lot more money.
We used to have this phrase at the private equity company called "run to the fringes." It's where everybody else isn't playing. So, for example, we did hard money loans for millionaires in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. We ran to the fringes, and guess what we got? We got 50% equity. So they would put 50% down. $2 million house, they put $1 million down.
Yeah.
We would loan them $1 million.
Yeah.
And we would get 16% interest if they had a 780 credit score.
These are millionaires, so it's...
Yep. And guess what they're doing? They're paying that from some business account so they can not pay taxes.
Yeah.
Because 16% interest is a lot cheaper than 50% taxes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So run to the fringes, baby.
That's funny. I spent some time in Cabo. I imagine there are a lot of millionaires out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of people with their 8th homes there. They don't live there. They don't go there often.
No, it's
They
almost
just
like an
own the
investment
home.
half the time, I imagine, right?
Yeah.
Because it's just a tax haven in some ways.
It's a tax haven and property that isn't like deeply worn. It appreciates over time.
Yeah.
And then it's like beachfront. And
Okay, Kendall, I want to ask you, so taxation and this stuff, if people are taking their money and they're putting it offshores, but they're functioning within, let's say, the U.S. economy, is it, a lot of economists say that is just straight theft. Like they're stealing from you and me because they're pumping their money elsewhere when they're living within our current economy. Do you agree? Now you can go the other way.
I'd be more nuanced on that. I'd have to know the situation. I'm sorry. I'm no fun on this stuff.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's two sides. Like one side is taxation in general is theft, and I don't believe in that. And then the other side is if you take your money anywhere else within the economy that you're operating in, and other people have to pay taxes in that economy, that is also theft. So I'm stealing from the poor because I'm able to use tools that they can't leverage. It's
That's interesting. Yeah, I think I would look at it as family chores. We all got to pitch in. We all got to pitch in to have.
But what if I don't want to be in the
pop.
family anymore? But I just want to kind of be in the family.
Then you're that guy, and we're just like, that's that guy. You lose all the relational benefits.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
So we know.
Well,
you
that's
exist.
the problem. You don't lose the relational benefits. Like you still that's the
you
the
do.
corruption.
The media hates you, and then you feel it.
If they find out, I mean, everybody loves FTX right now.
Speaking of FTX,
Yeah, hit me.
My mom keeps texting me. She does not listen to this show, so this is a fun little secret for everybody that isn't my mom. She keeps texting me like the cryptos that she thinks are going to go to the moon.
Really?
Yep.
Your mom's in
My
this
mom.
market?
Yeah. And
Ooh.
we're talking like this one they're saying is going to 3000x. I'm like, who's they? And then she's like, my sources. And I'm like, okay.
No.
Okay, mom. All right. I gotta go back to work.
Dude, I'm really not into the speculative crypto game. I hate it. We both have friends who have lost a lot of money
Yes, we do.
doing exactly this.
I also have friends who have made a lot of money, and I don't care enough about money.
Dude.
It would bother me if I made a lot of money in a way that didn't add intrinsic value to the world.
This is it. Okay, here's what it
bothers me.
I thought about this. I think within our core, in your core, we want to believe in a merit-based system. So the harder you work, the better things get for you, right?
The games actually destroy what we believe in.
Yeah, it totally destroys it. Because if I'm working my butt off and you're totally sitting on your ass and you make 20 times more than me just because you happen to be lucky, it's like roulette. But roulette's fun because you're dealing with small amounts of money in Vegas and that's not going to hurt anybody. This is actually like destroying lives and also making people billionaires who shouldn't be. Anyways.
Dude, I don't, it doesn't bother me that people get unfair things. That doesn't bother me at all. But if I got an unfair thing, that would bother me.
It bothers me when people get unfair
I
things.
know.
Yeah.
I know.
Because
life's not fair.
Oh, it's totally not fair. But I also strive to I would like to think that we all should try to
Can make it
lean
more fair.
towards more fair.
We're doing that. We are democratizing information on this show. Let's do something nerdy. Okay. I spent Thanksgiving talking to my in-laws.
Nice.
And one of them is an ER doctor. It's outside of Stockton. And we usually have a nice discussion like, did anybody die today? No, it was a good day. Nobody died. But that guy this guy, foot went through the trampoline and the spring is still halfway in there and it's a little bit rusted. And I don't know, we have interesting conversations. Yeah. Then we move to Rothschild conversations and, Ukraine-Russia war and macroeconomy and the long con with China and infrastructure. So we got onto some really deep thinking stuff. We actually kind of arrived at the conclusion that in the next 24 months, we can predict the future, and this is not normally doable. So like normally you've got those vocal people who think they can predict the future and they have their data and their reasons and they're wrong 40% of the time and they're right 60% of the time because they're trying. That's why it's not 50-50. We're in a really interesting situation. I wanted to give you the summary, and I wanted to see if you can poke holes in it.
I want to hear what you're saying because I have thoughts about this. Keep going. Okay.
So here is predicting the near future. Here's how I want to do it. And I'm going to have somebody on my team do it. I'm probably going to do it myself. I want to read the quarterly reports and the future-looking statements from Netflix, Meta, Google, Amazon, Apple, Disney, and probably like Deloitte, and then one financial institution. We'll go Berkshire Hathaway. I want to just read them their latest quarter, and they'll all have commentary on what they expect their businesses to do and why. And I want to index and triangulate what's the differences between what they're saying, what are the similarities. Then I want to look at what's happening in the media and anticipate what it's going to do over a 6-month and 12 months horizon. We know how pre-elections go, and we know how heated it's been the last 2 elections. And nothing's changed except for COVID, and some things are worse.
Yeah.
And so you've got a media that's discussing recession. Gas is actually right now. Gas they're deflating it on purpose.
Yep.
They're manipulating gas. Interest rates on houses are hitting like 7.5% on average right now. Crazy. 4.5% 4 months ago. That is insane. There's a war going on. We're fighting a modern day war. Okay, so we have drones. We have subcontractors that have never been in the game. We have the pre-election drama. I think Trump's running again. And it's going to get
so is Kanye
wild. Is he really?
Yeah.
It's going to be wild.
Yeah.
You just tune in for the show, guys.
Oh, yeah.
So meanwhile, we all have super inflation happening for Americans. Like we're not used to this type of inflation. I get it that that's like a volatility thing that other people are used to. We are not used to this, and the world is not used to America going through that. So the last time that it happened at this level would have been the 80s before I was aware. So I don't know other than what they tell me happened. And look at this. So now we get to macroeconomics. Here's the thing. When investors are anticipating another crash or a further crash, so we just had FTX, right? Crypto is not safe. Gold and silver are at all-time highs because the people who already were risk averse already started moving from the S&P 500 to gold. You know, that's already happening. So they're super high. So there's no really value arbitrage to move your money there. Everything's inflating. Keeping cash is diminishing your cash. So investors don't know where to put it. Real estate's still high. Gold is still high. Everything's still high. What the hell do you do with your cash? And when investors just sit on cash and don't know what to do, no one is funding the flow of our economy.
No, pooling of cash is extremely bad.
It's really bad for us all. We are losing jobs. So Twitter lost a few thousand, Meta's, I mean, some of them are like 10,000 plus on these tech companies.
Yeah, that's
right?
sad. We should talk about that.
And that's going to take how long till somebody who had a high tech salary can't make rent? How long do you think? On average.
On average, I mean, Twitter laid off a third of its
Okay,
force.
if you were a Twitter,
Meta just laid off 10,000.
But if you're a Twitter software engineer and you were making $250,000 a year,
yeah,
you're laid off.
Yeah.
How long do you think until you're really feeling the heat?
Oh, almost immediately. People generally just changed their level of living.
That's
entirely.
right. That's right.
Right. So they're not. Yeah,
they were spending $240.
Bank. This is not going to work. Yeah. No. Exactly.
That's right.
Plus, they're living in Silicon Valley, which their rent is insane.
Yep.
Yeah.
So give it 3 months from now, 3 to 6 months. It won't take long. And they are like trying to figure out, they've maxed their credit cards. They are going to be very scared.
Okay. You haven't predicted the future yet. I want to hear what your predictions are.
This is the recipe.
Okay.
So this is just the ingredients of the cocktail. So looking at all this, what I predict is the government is going to have to prevent literal demonstrations and rioting at scale by saying, get back to work, America. In the election cycle, both sides are going to offer jobs. It'll require a massive package. So they'll have to get this approved from Congress, which will increase inflation, but get productivity back to the average family. And they're probably going to do it on the back of infrastructure. They started to do this last time, remember? It was.
So are you thinking like they're going to do a Hoover Dam type project? They're going to create.
Like many. Think like, we're going to make cybersecurity infrastructure. We're going to get satellites into space. We're going to make a Mexico wall out of drones, not bricks. We're going to go fix the freeways. We're going to build a new freeway from Florida to Washington and Seattle. Like, whatever. There's going to be excuses for government jobs to balloon. The government will get bigger. Either party. This is not a party thing.
Yeah.
They'll do it differently, but they're going to have to run on this because people are scared, and people will always trade safety for freedom. So
that's a strong claim. People will always trade safety for freedom.
Statistically, over time, people will trade safety for freedom.
Okay, that's interesting. I actually don't know what I think about that. But I want to go back. Okay, government getting bigger. Yes, it will naturally get bigger simply because it has to match the size of growing companies. Because what do? We tax companies. We look into companies, all these things. So as one gets bigger, so does the other, simply just to match the regulation required on both sides. It's just going to happen, right? Second thing, predicting the future is hard. It's very, very difficult. You mentioned the election. The election is a great example of how you're probably going to be completely wrong because we thought we had the 2012 election completely nailed, and it was a slow motion car crash that we all watched, and it was hilarious.
You mean 2016?
No, 12 when Trump won.
That was 16.
No, I think he came in 2012.
Missed. Nope.
Wait a minute.
Swing and a miss.
When did
big swing and a miss?
Did Trump?
You think you're older than you are. We're aging quickly, my friend. Gray hairs.
Was it 12? How old was I? Oh my God, you're right. It's 2016. I'm a dummy.
It's okay.
Okay, in 2016,
yes,
when
it
Trump
was a train wreck.
It was a slow motion train car crash or whatever. which is hilarious. Wow, who was elected in 12? It was Obama.
Obama. Second term Obama.
My gosh, what the heck? What am I thinking here? Anyway, so predicting the future is hard, right? The tool for doing that, have you ever heard the tool is you go into the future 100 years and think, how will people describe us right now? Which is a really tricky thing to do.
Sure.
And the easy way to do that is to go back 100 years. And how would you describe back then? Now, 100 years ago...
1920s? That was a rough time.
Think of it, the 1920s.
Roaring 20s.
Oh my gosh. But you know what was there? Women couldn't vote. Child abuse was legal.
Really?
Yeah. You could hit children in school if they were misbehaving. Think about that. Child abuse is legal.
Yeah.
And inequality was, still bad, but probably not as dramatic as it is right now. So things are going to change. I think naturally they're going to get better or worse. But predicting it how you're talking about, that's tough. Now, here's the reality is recession is coming simply because different...
Oh, it's here.
Well, yeah, it's here and coming. It's going to get worse.
Yep.
Simply because companies are laying off people at such a dramatic level. And you ever go home and you're like, honey, we're having a problem. And you didn't even have a problem, but if you say that, you have a problem now.
You have, why?
Just because
Why?
Like literally you just created a problem out of nowhere.
I'm sorry we're making the problem worse by talking
I feel like
about it right now.
No, I don't think we are. We're just commentating on what other companies are doing.
I have solutions in mind.
Oh, so do I, but I want to hear yours.
Well, no. Go ahead then.
Okay, I think two things here. Yes, it's going to become more tech-oriented, and because of that, there's going to be a swing to the other side. So that means organic goods are going to go up a lot higher, just like organic apples. That's now a thing, but 20 years ago, that was not a thing, simply because now they had mass-produced apples, so what do? They value the other ones. The old way, they value it even higher. So live events are going to be bigger. Man-made goods are going to be bigger, things like that. So I think you're safe on both sides. Being in the middle is the dangerous spot. You don't want to be there.
Entertainment always booms in a recession.
True.
So it's good for us on TikTok. We got to do more like shirtless episodes or like jokes. Or
I try that every single time, and you always shoot me down.
We just cut those scenes out. Actually, we should make a Patreon for that. the B-roll where Dustin is shirtless.
Oh my gosh.
So I think that entertainment's going to boom. If I'm starting businesses or wanting to quit my day job, I'm looking at where are people flocking to, what kind of media is trending. That guy, Preston.
Yeah.
Right? We're getting a solicitation. I'm talking to, I don't know what his title is, but the guy who's like putting that all together tomorrow. Great. And they are taking a concept that TikTok influencers or Instagram influencers can move their following to mainstream media like Netflix or Disney or Hulu or whatever. And they could like infiltrate Hollywood's economics. So they're trying to span the bridge in their fundraising to be able to do a thriller using influencers.
Yeah.
Really interesting.
I think that's a great idea.
I think it's a good idea. Entertainment is going to boom. But I also think government subcontracting, anything you can do that is a service that the government will need 3 years from now when they go, here's a $4 trillion package. I think it's going to be a $4 trillion package. The first one. I think the first one. I think the first one post-election.
What do you mean, a $4 trillion
infrastructure package?
Oh boy.
Yep.
They're just creating jobs.
That's right.
Jobs.
I'm not talking about small potatoes. I think they're going to run on this, and then whoever wins, it's going to take another 6 months after 2024 for Congress to approve it, and then I think they're going to ship us a mega infrastructure package, and that money is there's going to be blood in the water, and but it will prop up our production. Bad for the long-term America, but it'll get us out of the rut. And then if we get too unstable, that's how the world goes to war. So let's not get too unstable.
One thing that America has above almost every other country at this point is that we control the dollar, and every other economy is based off of the dollar.
Yep.
And the second we go into crypto, then it's a bit of a free-for-all. So I worry for that moment.
Okay, here's a deal.
Give me a deal, yeah.
It is extremely difficult to go into crypto. We will... probably not do that privately. Probably the U.S. will just announce their dollar, and then that will be federally backed as the same. They'll just say it's the same, but it's a digital dollar,
Mm-hmm.
and it'll probably move that way. I don't know how long it'll take. Another 10 years maybe.
Yeah.
But all the major players in the world, when they borrow money from other countries, they have to pay those debts back in US dollars. So you have to make your payments on your loan in US dollars. So it doesn't matter what currency you're using.
Mm-hmm.
They are not going to be able to avoid. They have to do an exchange, which means America stays liquid because we have money flowing through our system.
So all this talk about the end of the world makes me want to start a business. You got any ideas for me?
Given that the recession is hot and heavy, and the government is going to be doing infrastructure packages around technology, it's a great time to become a drone pilot. You can get certified.
Really?
Yep. Here's why. And I'm teaching my kids, to be honest. That's how much I believe this is going to be a thing. You can get drone certified. Drones are relatively cheap. I saw a really nice one for $1,300 from DJI. If you can fly around that high def camera and go audit and assess infrastructure blight and then sell to your local city or municipality, like, hey, let me go do an audit of whichever areas you're looking at investing in the next few years. And here's my rate for that. You do a day rate for flying drones and sending them back footage. You're going to give them the ammo they need to justify the money that will already exist from Big Papa for getting infrastructure applications approved.
Okay, this is interesting. I fly drones illegally. I don't have any license or anything like that. You're right. They're becoming much more affordable, and they're so dang fun to fly. They're so fun. I think that you're going to have some problems here. So one thing, I had a friend who had some property, and he had some growers on the property.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, bad thing. And so he sent up his friend with a drone to go get photos of it. It was impossible to see. Like, it's a good drone, professional drone. Couldn't find the crop, if you will. So he had to handle it in some other ways. Interesting thing, though. So it's not as easy as you might think, I don't think. Also, there are restrictions in terms of how far out you can go. Eventually, that will be solved. Technology will always adapt and become better and better and better.
Flight times are like 15, 20 minutes right now from a decent drone. And I'm not talking about getting like eagle eye way up in the sky type footage. I'm talking about going out to the old train station and flying the drone around in the actual infrastructure and video mapping, and probably then with a Google Doc writing notes on like, these bricks need to be replaced. I'm talking about literal documentation like your house appraiser would do, or somebody in, when they sell a house, they have to do this. What's the inspector guy?
Dude, so with your iPhone, you can do 3D rendering now. Which is awesome. You don't even need a Matterport, which is great because I almost invested in a Matterport this year. Then I was like, this is dumb.
I almost bought one 2 years ago.
That's
I'm
so
glad
funny.
we didn't.
Yeah, me too. But yeah, so eventually that'll be with your drone. You could just like zip on through a building, boom, done.
I mean, not eventually. Now.
I don't think you can 3D render with a drone.
Oh, I see what you're saying. It doesn't matter. Right now, all you have to do is get the file type from 4K down to something that's an easier to manage file size.
Yeah.
And then take documentation. The government just wants documentation. They just want to know this metal beam is rusting, and you're going to have to, I don't have to price out how much that costs. They just need to know that it's rusting and where.
Yeah.
And then they can go get their subcontractors to estimate, hey, how much to replace the beam? And those guys can go rip them off. So like every city, every county, they're going to need to do this, and there's going to be infrastructure money for them.
Okay, I love it. I don't know if it's real, but it's fun. It's definitely fun. And also, you should just get a drone just for the heck of it. I think it's a great idea.
This conversation is going to age well. I'm calling it.
Oh, okay. Here we go. I think there should be a podcast exclusively about Elon Musk. Just daily updates about Musk. It would be successful. People would listen to it. It wouldn't even have to be that
Musky
good.
business.
Yeah, Musky. That's terrible. But the guy tweets and companies fail. So it's interesting. Or that's pretty ironic.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is very ironic.
Or his company fails.
That is very ironic.
Yeah, it's great.
Wow. Okay. Oh, wow. Are we getting into this?
Yeah, you think it would work, right?
Yeah, but are we getting... I think it's a good... I think it's a good podcast. I think it'd go viral.
Right?
Yep. You just have to do what we're doing. You have to put the clips on social media.
Let's just pivot.
We're going to do a pivot.
All
right. Welcome to Musky Business, the conversation show about Elon Musk and his escapades.
Absolutely. Do you think he sucks? Do you think he's great? It's great. We agree with both of that. But
Oh
we're
my
here to tell you all.
I'm taking the anti position. You're taking the for position today. We just alternate.
Oh, we could swap. It's
right?
so easy to swap too
It's easy
with him.
So I'm in this app called Blind that people who anonymously post their compensation HR questions, lots of drama about the biggest tech companies in the world. You kind of have to get certified to get into some of them. I don't even remember how I did it. I think I had to obscure my information to get access to the data.
Nice.
But now I just, every now and then, like with all this drama happening, I've been watching like the actual Twitter engineers post about like what's happening inside.
My gosh.
And I've been taking some screenshots. I'll send you some.
What are they saying? What's
Oh my
happening on
gosh.
the inside?
And you get to see like what's their total comp because there's a culture of everybody posting that.
Is there a spread on that? Can you give me like a general spread?
In those businesses, the lowest I've seen is 120K. Highest I've seen is 850.
That's
And
pretty
I
good.
would say there's a median around 400.
That's interesting. It's sad though because it'll stay there. However, those jobs are going to become more and more rare as time goes on.
Sure.
So I don't think it's a great business for people to go into. Don't
Don't go try to
Don't
work
try
for
it.
those right now.
No, don't do it.
That won't age well. No, and India is cranking out top engineers now.
And AI is doing it for
And
you.
AI, yeah. Well, and the younger generation will be taught how to code, outcode you. It'll be mostly about creativity in the future. So the skill set that will prevail in the future is decision making around creative application of technology.
No, I say innovation. It's always innovation.
Whatever. That's not a thing. That's a
Yeah, it is.
innovation. That's an industry.
No,
That's a
no.
craft.
Being able to innovate within the constraints of literal life, right? So now we have AI
That's what
that can code.
creativity is.
All right, fine. I just give it a better word.
Yeah, you did beat me with the word. Okay, innovation. Yeah. Okay, I think that Twitter is going to succeed. I think a lot of people think it's going to fail. I think that if they go bankrupt, it will be like one of those
Like
bankruptcies.
a flash bankup. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what was the strategy?
Yeah.
You know, and then Twitter 2.0 will be the entity name of the next one. And Elon Musk's girlfriend will buy it for pennies on the dollar. And then she'll hire him to be the CEO. Wow, that was weird. Whatever. It just, the government won't be able to hold him down. And he's not going to be willing to lose $44 billion. So, and he's too smart, I think, to lose $44 billion at this point. So he might be passionate enough to lose $44 billion, though. That could be his kryptonite.
It's definitely not nearly as volatile as something like FTX, right? Obviously, just within
True.
the nature of the company.
Because we can't make a run on the Twitter bank.
No, not at all. It probably won't fail just because he's so dang interesting. Like we
Right.
want to stick around and see what happens.
And in a recession, people want entertainment.
Yeah,
He'll probably
absolutely.
just like sell 50% of it to Trump if it's failing, and then they'll just fight on there.
I want to
about
see what his
this.
Twitter followers is at. I told
Oh
you
my
about that. I
gosh.
screenshot it and
Okay,
it was
yeah.
at 1
Wait.
million.
Yeah. Tell the audience what you told me.
So Trump got let back onto Twitter, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting. I want to see what this looks like." So I went to his Twitter account and I screenshot it. And let me find the screenshot right now as I pull it up. My albums, where the heck is that? Screenshots. Here we go. Okay, so the night before that he became. Oh, we have to cut out this dead space. Okay, yeah. So here we go. The day that Trump got his Twitter back, I went to his account and I was like, screenshot, boom. He had 1.1 million followers. The next morning, he had 36 million followers. 2 days later, he had 87 million followers. And let's check him right now. Have you found him?
No,
Okay, I'm looking him up right now.
this
Oh,
doesn't
God.
seem possible.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's probably
wait,
fake.
timestamp that again. This doesn't seem possible.
Now he has 87 million followers. So it kind of like,
Oh, okay.
that's
it capped.
weird. It didn't, it capped 87.7. When I screenshot it the other day, it was 87.5.
So maybe what happened was they restored his original followers. Maybe that's what happened.
They just, like,
Otherwise,
flipped a switch and they were all there.
or like they did it in phases to make it
I know in
not seem
phases.
like that. Maybe they made it not seem like it was flip a switch.
I don't think there's anybody who's ever gotten followers that fast.
No, and there's only 360 million people
I know,
in America.
isn't that great? A
so,
third of America's following
like
him.
on Twitter, no, people don't tweet that much. I get that Trump does, but people don't. People don't care. My mom and all of my mom's friends, they don't have Twitters. Like you can't get those numbers on a Twitter following organically that fast.
That's funny. I want to talk about AI. Would you be willing to talk about AI?
Let's talk about AI, baby.
Okay, guys. Cat's out of the bag. AI is here to stay. And I had a bunch of AI business ideas. And every time I turn around a corner, I see somebody already doing the business idea with AI. And I was keeping them all in. So now I'm like, screw this. I'm just going to share all the ideas because somebody's doing them. So it might as well be one of you guys instead of some schmuck in East Coast or whatever.
So somebody do whatever he's about to say.
So what I'm talking about is, have you heard of AI interview with a celebrity? I forget where it's at, but like you can interview a celebrity that's dead or alive and ask them questions, then they'll talk to you, right? This is an idea I had a few months ago. I'm like, oh, I could build this. I know how to build this, and I just never did it.
And then it exists.
Yeah, it's lame, right? So here's a bunch of AI business ideas, and I want you to tell me if you think they're good or bad. Okay. And some of them probably already exist, but if you wanted to start
That's fine. We don't have infinite research time for this show.
Cold email outreach via AI. It does homework on your email person, and then it just says, hey, you should do this.
My cold email outreach guy sent me a screenshot this morning of his prompt and a cold email that the AI GPT-4 wrote him this morning. And it was a really good cold email. And his prompt was like, write me a cold email to sell XYZ services to a large corporation. And it was good.
That's good. Okay, so how you could do this is if you can do homework on all the corporations that you're reaching out to, and then you say within these categories, and then every time you have an email being drafted up, you could zap it in to Airtable, then Airtable could send it all out everywhere else, whatever. And then you just say, hey, write a cold email from this parameter with this big of an organization, and the person is this position, and then it just adapts to that. You can go even further if you wanted to say, hey, AI, go look on their LinkedIn and just give me some good information and maybe go through their socials.
So like Google, you can subscribe to like Google News or something on specific topics. Yeah. So if you follow those and then you have those sent to your Airtable or whatever, then if there's media or news about their company, then you can reference.
Yes.
Congrats on your latest round of funding or whatever. Congrats on the acquisition of. Congrats on your new CEO. I'm just curious if you guys X, Y, Z.
Okay, this is doable. I could, if I worked really hard, I think I could figure this out in a month. It wouldn't be great, but it could be figure-outable. Again, it would just be a lot of zaps.
I don't think this is a great business.
Really? Okay, tell me why.
I think this is a great upgrade for the people who are already pros in this business, but I think cold email is one of those things, kind of like playing the SEO game, that the big players out there crack down on. So the more that they can detect that this was written by AI, you will get flagged. And once you're flagged, they'll have to, because it's going to be harder to catch, they're going to make the flags more serious. So your penalties will doom you. But also, if there's too much noise in an executive's inbox, even if you get past spam, then we're just going to migrate away from email. Like we'll just move to Slack. You can't Slack me.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I fully agree with that. It's funny. I don't ever use template emails anymore. I rarely use them. I'm typically like custom for every single person simply because I hate them so much. And they don't work. Okay.
Do you think email in corporate use is mostly going to peter out to a very small niche later? Right now, it's the biggest. It's the most broadly used tool, period. Do you think that like Teams and Slack and Zoom and all the chat stuff, Looms and all those are going to overtake email?
I think they already have internally. I don't know many corporations that
My behavior would say that.
Yeah. I don't know many corporations that internally communicate via email more than they do Slack.
Yeah, so internal comms. So then you have vendors and you have external. And I guess that's going to be less important the more that we can just like corp to corp integrate our Slacks with our vendors, for example.
Yeah, if we can get a Slack system that is more of like knocking on the front door, like, hey, here's your spam folder, and it's actually just people trying to reach out to you, and we are vigilant and not letting legit bad spam in there. That'll definitely take over email. I mean, I have so many emails, and I read 5% of the emails I get because all the others.
I probably
read
5%.
Yeah, it's dumb. Okay, simulation theory. I don't know if you ever heard about this or talked about this. Hey, we're living in a simulation, blah, 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 blah. I hate it. I think it's the dumbest thing on earth. It's basically a philosophy for first graders. It's dumb. It doesn't exist. Don't worry about it.
As Morpheus said, 1999 was the peak of humanity.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Thank you, Morpheus. That's hilarious. Okay, but one of the fun things about simulation theory is because with AI, we can do really, really interesting things. So I think we could do simulation theory where, like, let's say we create avatars. Let's say the avatars are different countries, and we place bets. All right, we got U.S. going to war with this country. Everybody put your bets in there, and then we run the simulation like 8 times normal speed, and we just watch it all happen unfold. It's hilarious, right?
And then within your simulation, I'm going to put avatars and governors and lay people and builders in your simulation.
No, it can
and then they will
yes.
be Neo someday, and we will be behind the Matrix.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It's fun simulation theory. It's like, but ridiculous. You could put a bunch of people in different
games to life.
Yeah, it'd be awesome, and you could bet on them and just.
Are they self-aware?
That's the thing. You can't program self-awareness.
We'll get there.
No, you can't.
But they will. But the program will think it's self-aware.
No, because
it will claim it's self-aware.
You can program, hey, be slow to decisions and pause at this point, but it doesn't exist, right? Self-awareness, like, can I view myself outside of myself? That is something that computers don't have the ability to do.
This is so meta.
It is kind of meta. That's why simulation theory is a complete ridiculous. That and synchronicity, but we can go into that at a different time. Okay, do you like that idea?
I do. It's
kind of fun, right?
I think I would play that game. So if this is The Sims,
yeah.
Like, remember how big The Sims was?
Yeah, AI Sims.
AI Sims. So this is Sims.
Yeah, AI Sims, set and forget, and you are God. This is great.
Oh my gosh.
That would be so fun.
Yeah, this would be a fun game.
Okay. AI. Okay, here we go. Create your own language. So AI reads your emails and responds like you would. It just learns you and responds like you.
I just felt waves of relief.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for inventing that for me, Dustin.
This is doable. The only issue is you need a lot of input.
I mean, I have all my own emails.
So we could do this.
So go to my sent folder, export my sent folder, and load them in.
So we could make this. If we made this, it would take, a month or 2, but we would make it so people come to you and they say, absolutely, let's do this. And it would have to be a service. They set it up for your company. You put it into a neural network, and then it learns your communication style.
My style.
Absolutely. And then it starts, have you ever used Quillbot or Grammarly or something like that?
Yep, sure.
It starts auto-completing your sentences like you.
I'd like it to draft the whole thing and give me a button that says approve. And then it just sends.
It could do that. I think it could do that. The problem with AI at this point for drafting is it doesn't do extremely long pieces of content.
It does now, as of this week.
What?
GTP4, yes.
No,
yes.
really?
Yeah,
Wait, did 4 come out?
Yes, 4 is OpenAI. You can play with OpenAI.
OpenAI.
So.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, we're in a whole new era. I got a video this morning from my friend Matt of him writing a prompt that wrote code for him and the complex code for merging his CSV files together and doing some secret sauce. Like, it wrote it accurately the first time from a 1-sentence prompt. He doesn't write code.
This is awesome. Yeah.
He knows where to place the code. He just doesn't write it.
You just need to know enough about code.
You just need to know how it works.
That's how I do everything.
Holy crap.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's great. AI inbox purge.
Yes. Yes, I'm in. How much? How much are you going to charge me? Tell me how the business works.
It's just basically a better spam folder, and we go and we just.
How do you make money?
It's a monthly subscription.
I have to pay you monthly?
Yeah, I'd say that would be a good way.
How much? Per user?
$24.99.
Per user?
Mm-hmm.
I'm on the fence.
I'd do it.
Can you lower it?
For you? Yeah, you're a friend.
$12.99.
So the tricky part is this would work if you could get a lot of adopters. I don't
care about my spam.
No, but if you can get a lot of adopters, I can look at everybody's inbox at once and be like, wow, this is interesting. This email has been sent to 40 people. That's spam.
Well, then you make a free tier that's share all of your data with us.
Yeah.
We get to do what we want with your data, free, $24.99.
Bro, that's it. That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Idea of the day right there.
That's a great idea. Okay, those are a few AI businesses. I say this because I'm trying to launch an AI business with my friend next month.
Really?
Yeah.
Is this one of the 12?
This is one of the 12, and it's
okay.
I can't talk about it. I can probably talk about it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's interesting. I'll talk about it in the community, but not here.
Okay.
Anyways, there you go. Those are my AI ideas.
That is hilarious. Okay, so I want to go off of your AI ideas and I want to run to the fringes because you're in the middle of all the millennial tech nerds and some of the older Gen Z nerds.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing where a lot of people are playing.
Mm-hmm.
I want to run to something obscure. For example, the elderly.
Oh.
I would like to, people are lonely. I would like to help old people connect with other people like them by talking to the AI. Now, I don't want them to build a relationship with AI because that makes my stomach turn. That also would work, by the way. But I want them to talk to the AI about what they're looking for in a conversation partner or an emotional help partner, or just talk their life story. They're just going to talk, just talking. AI is listening. It's thinking. And it connects Barbara with Bob. They're 3,000 miles away from each other, but now they can have a chatting relationship through voice, connected by AI. And if they want to break up, no harm, no foul, they're 3,000 miles apart. I just think there's a lot of lonely people out there,
So
and AI can help match.
Yeah, a next generation pen pal.
We're going to take pen pals to the next level by you start talking about what you're looking for and what you're interested in.
This is big. Elderly loneliness is a huge issue.
Huge industry too. I don't want to sound like a cold-hearted. I agree with you. It's a huge issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I look at how much money is spent on extending lifetime in not very nice means, right? And so is it really even worth extending your lifetime if you're lonely? Like, it is rough.
It's so rough. I actually thought Meta would be a good solution for this.
Yeah. No, it certainly probably will address some of this, just virtual reality.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but let's not scare them. Let's just give them a pen pal. I loved your language for it. So we don't even have to say it's powered by AI. That's just not even appropriate.
I would actually recommend not saying that.
It's just like magic match pen pal for the elderly.
Okay, so if I wanted to start this business, I have to get buy-in of multiple homes first, because that's easy. You get like blocks of people and say, hey, we're going to set you up with a pen pal.
I actually think we already have their email addresses, because these are the people
but
who
my
lose
grandma's
their
not
emails.
Responding to emails. I want to go to a home and say, hey, this is a complete service we offer, because loneliness is real.
So it'd have to be an app on a tablet, because you need a mic and they need to be able to be comfortable using it. So on an iPad mini would be ideal.
An app that's slightly more real time than just messaging, because that will get old fast, and slightly less high stakes than Zoom calls.
So if they want, exactly, we're shooting the middle. Yeah. Exactly. So I think if you can make the chat feature with the AI, which feels like Jarvis, this is the butler that you wish you always had, and he's very nice to you. That'll be fun too. That can just be fun entertainment time. But one of the main services he's helping you do, this AI bot called Jarvis, is find Bob in Atlanta.
I like this. I actually think this would work. It's like chat roulette, but way better and way safer.
So it's freemium, right? So it's free for the first 3 pen pals you have. And if you want to do up to 30 pen pals, then you pay $40 a month.
I think it would just be a feature of retirement homes. Say, hey, we buy into this.
Sure.
Well,
that's
it could
B2B
be
sale.
both. It could be both.
You could do both.
Yeah, you could have that.
If you do it for retirement homes, the benefit to them is they get the data. So then because they're like the caretakers for Barbara, right? So they their family, Barbara's family has given them money, and they have signed paperwork like, please don't screw over mom. Like, mom is important to us.
This is a big deal. I get worried about that with grandparents and parents. Like, you want them to be in a space that you feel safe with. And I don't know how many retirement homes you've been into, but they're not exactly inspiring.
No. I know a lot of workers in them, and they're amazing people. Yeah. But I'm not sure if the CEOs of retirement homes are amazing people.
No.
Because I'm just thinking about who starts this business. It's mostly a cash grab. It's so sad. And that's an unfair judgment, because they're all different. Or maybe it's somebody who a home really helped their parents and then they wanted to start that. But then they probably sell to private equity at a certain point of scale, and then it becomes back to Mr. Monopoly. Mm-hmm. And I don't want Kevin O'Leary owning the home that my mom is in someday.
No. That would be, that's good.
Jarvis the pen pal.
That's funny. I like that. Okay, Mr. Bachman. We haven't done any mailbag. which we could do that. We could just cover that next time. But I wanted to ask you, of the businesses we talked about, which one would be the best one to start, and which one, and how would you start it?
Of all time?
No, just
Of today?
Yeah, today, like the best of the day.
Oh, we didn't even get to the best one. It's a bounce house company.
Oh, you're big on this. Okay,
I'm big on the bounce house. Okay, all right.
So no, pitch me it.
Okay, I want to buy 6 bounce houses, and I want to be living in a city like Sacramento. Okay, big enough, right? Enough people who pay for their kids to have a nice time. I want to use 3D technology, kind of like Matterport, but now apparently you can do it on the iPhone to take accurate 3D renderings of the bounce house, the safety features, and I want to take film of like what it's like when we set up and tear down, and I want to emphasize sanitary. I just want to take out the competition, and then I have upsells like you need white chairs. You want to rent some white chairs, tables, tablecloths. You want to rent some silverware. So I would like to make a rental business for events starting at the open door of bounce houses.
How much does a bounce house cost?
To buy or to rent?
To buy, like you, the owner.
$10,000 for a big one.
Okay, how much are you going to rent it out for?
$2,000 for a smaller one.
Nice. How much are you going to rent it out for?
The $10,000 ones rent out for like $900 a day.
Oh, wow, 10%. That is generally the model.
Per day.
I don't know if you're going to get a lot of people that are going to want to pay $900 a day.
I don't need to. They're already doing it. I just need to take market share. I got all this data from the bounce house company in town.
Oh, that's funny.
This is not invention. I'm just saying, wow, you suck at this, and I can't believe they're paying you that much.
It probably lasts a long time. It's probably a one-man job, delivering it there, setting it up.
Yep. And you can patch it. They also have resale value. The one that my kids were in, that the laborer didn't know why I was asking him all the questions, but he was paid too little to know why I'm asking. Yeah. So he told me everything about his boss.
Yeah.
He said that it just sold for $11,000 used. She sold the one we were bouncing in. Like, oh yeah, we're shipping that off next week. Not locally. They're just going to put it on a truck and ship it to some other state, somebody else. Then she's going to get another one from China, probably direct, because she's more established in a franchise. But it was a Chinese franchise. It was a franchise of China. And the pictures are worse than 480p. They're worse than 480p.
Okay, I'm thinking about it. I actually think this would pencil.
I know it pencils, but can you pull it off? Can the average person pull it off? No, because you don't have,
Yeah, your startup cost would be
whatever.
about 30 grand, something like that.
Yeah,
or
I'd say 30, 40 grand to do it well.
You could do it startup less if you literally just went to the bounce house companies and said, hey, I'm starting my own, but I want to rent through you, and you can't take my business. However, I'm going to use exclusively you for the next 6 months. And so then they take a cut, you take a cut, everybody's happy, and then you get enough money to buy your own things. But that would be hard. But then they would learn, oh, we should do what they're doing because they're doing it awesome. And then it'd be bad. But I would start with $30,000. That'd be better.
So if you don't have $30,000, lean in. I'm going to tell you how. We're not starting a bounce house rental company. We're starting a bounce house rental company lead gen service. That's what you do if you have no money. So you go, you make the website, you take better photos, you fake the photos, whatever you need to do. Just pay an editor on Upwork to fake the photos for you. You can pay them $46 to do this. I know that you can drive better SEO traffic than most cities' bounce house rental companies. Why do I know this? Because a Chinese franchise is winning Reading right now. It is not even a Chinese company. It is a franchise owner in her 60s. That.
How much do you think she's making a year from it?
Well, laborer dude told me that she's clearing something averaging $15K a week in the slow months.
Stop.
In the slow months.
We should try this.
I was like, well, what was the summer like? Oh, he's like, oh, we do like 5 or 6 times this much.
Plus labor. Was he on his own?
He had one buddy. They had to put on their polo shirt with the logo.
Yeah.
And then it's like an hour and a half of labor.
And then they just stand there, hang out, and drink a coffee while it's...
They deflate it, and then they go take it back to the warehouse. They sanitize it, and they get it ready for...
How many bounce houses did they have?
I didn't ask how many they have. Okay. But he said we do about $15,000 a week right now in the slow months.
And how much did he charge?
This one was $1,000 per bounce house, and they had 2 at the college, and the college bought it for 2 days.
So he at least has 15 bounce houses.
Um,
No, sorry, at least has two bounce houses because that makes $15,000 a week. That's at least two bounce houses.
I think they have several options. I think they probably have like 6 or 8 bounce houses.
No, what I'm saying is that we have a city of 120,000 people.
Correct.
And they have enough business to have 2 bounce houses out on average every single day on a slow week.
Yes. Now you're with me.
Huge.
Now you're with me.
That is really big.
So you can either make the lead gen business to beat them. You could take all their market share away and then sell it back to them. Because you know how I found out about them? I Googled bounce houses, Redding, California.
Dude, I've heard you talk. Yeah, that's good. That's good. There's not a lot of competition for the SEO. I've heard you talk about this a few times, and I always was like, "Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny." But I don't think it's funny anymore. I think that's a really good idea. Oh, okay, that wins. All right, there we go. That's great.
I think we should stop while we're behind.
Let's stop. I want to. So I'm starting 12 businesses in a year.
Let's do it next year.
I think we could. No. Let's do this in February or something like that.
Not in the cold months. Let's do it right before the spring.
No, I want. Okay, right before the spring.
March.
Yeah, I want it to a month to get the kinks out. You know,
March, and then we're live in April.
Yeah, let's do March. That's a good idea.
My birthday and my son's birthday is right around there.
We'll
be customers.
We could. Oh man, I'm pretty on board with this idea.
And adult bounce houses and axe throwing should be merged as business. All right, that's the show.